Sawadika and good evening and welcome to Thai PBS World Tonight. I'm Nabunak.
I'm Funkanshi.
Yesterday we talked about the mule bank accounts which many people were complaining about on social media because many of their bank accounts were frozen without prior notice and people have felt that they've been mistaken as mule accounts.
So right now, of course, as what we talk about, the wave of criticism already come in.
Yeah.
No matter to public sector or private sector to commercial banks too. So right now, Bank of Thailand has new measures.
Exactly. They have announced to revise the measures in freezing and unfreezing of bank accounts. So recently, the central bank announced that it will revise its measure in sweeping mule accounts in order to minimize the impact on ordinary people as well as legitimate businesses by the end of this month. And one of their aims is to unlock the frozen bank accounts within 4 hours if their account holder is proven innocent. So the central bank has discussed with the police as well as financial institutions, and they also agreed that they will revise the procedures for suspending and unlocking those bank accounts. And those who have been affected can request to have their bank accounts unlocked by calling the hotline, which is 1441. And those have to provide their name, their account number, as well as their ID card number. And if those bank accounts were found to be legitimate, their accounts will be unlocked within 4 hours. At the same time, the bank accounts that have been frozen for more than 7 days will be cleared and unlocked within a week from now without requiring a hotline request. And the central bank will also use data from this screening to update its criteria on sweeping mule accounts within this month. So the screening will be based on 3 issues. So one would be sweeping only the necessary links to mule accounts, notify affected individuals on the specific amount of money under suspension, and unlock accounts of innocent users as soon as possible. So there have been complaints that many people got their bank accounts frozen and mistaken to be mule accounts, but it took them so long for these accounts to be unlocked. Some people got like up to 4 months, and the regular procedures takes like several months. But now they have reduced to only like 4 hours. That is like some sign of hope.
Right, but I think it already impacts the small business activities to net, because according to Thai PBS report, I think in Bangkok, people still can use QR code. We still use PromptPay to pay everything, no matter it's groceries or food. But I understand that according to Thai PBS report, in other provinces, those small business owners, they don't want to get PromptPay payment anymore because it might block their accounts, business accounts. At the end, they cannot use those, money and budget inside their bank accounts.
Yeah, like we reported yesterday, many of the merchants are afraid that their bank accounts would be frozen because they were not able to track every single transaction that comes in every day, and considering how many customers they have to welcome each day. So it is not possible to track like which one has a mule account.
And how do they know if that track is illegal?
Yeah.
Because of course, small business leader or individuals like us, we don't have the ability to track that.
Yeah, there's no way that we could track every single transaction because we're not a bank. We're only a business owner or an ordinary citizen. There's no way that we could track every single thing unless it's like obviously suspicious. There's no way that we would be able to track every single thing that comes in. But regarding the concern of the mule accounts and how they decide to sweep or unfreeze some of the bank accounts, People's Party leader Nathapong Rungpanyawut also commented on this issue. He said that the suspension of mule bank accounts must be carefully designed to avoid affecting innocent people, especially online merchants. Like we just discussed, many people are affected, especially those who run small businesses and ordinary citizens like us, because once their bank accounts are frozen, there is no way that they could do anything, whether it's accepting payments or using that money to buy produce or anything that is necessary. But the challenge is finding the right balance in terms of sweeping those mule accounts from blocking mule accounts promptly while minimizing disruption to the general public. So when asked whether compensation should be provided to those who have been affected, he referred to a law which stipulates that relevant agencies, including mobile service providers and financial institutions, must share responsibility if they fail to maintain adequate security standards. So we see two sides of the coin here. The financial institutions would do everything to block the mule accounts, but then the other side, what about those who are not involved with illegal activity? What are you going to do? How do you find the right balance?
Yeah, this is the comment from the People's Party leader there. It's quite broad criticism because it's quite difficult to find the balance, as what you said. As financial institutions, they have to protect their assets, their rights. But another side, as what you said, innocent people or innocent business owners, merchants, they really need that money, no matter how much inside their bank accounts. They have the right to use it too. So as what you said, that right now Bank of Thailand, of course, has the new measures to unfreeze those blocked accounts, but it also links to scams, frauds too. So this is the policy, central bank's policy, and how about the government's policy too?
Yeah, and the precautionary measures are necessary to tackle these mule accounts as well as illegal activity, whether it's the call center scams, money laundering, but then the right balance would be a big challenge, especially now that most of the financial transactions are done online. We haven't even mentioned about cryptocurrencies. There are two sides of the coin as well, because some people have adopted the use of cryptocurrencies, but it has also been used for money laundering as well. So how do you find the right balance?
Yes, and how would you really change the cryptocurrency to fiat currency as well? We have USD, no matter USD, Thai baht, and when you transfer that from the cryptocurrency to fiat currency to your bank account, and you might be blocked because that might be seen as mule account again.
But then many of the many of the small businesses or like market vendors have tried to avoid the problem by accepting only cash for the time being, because you don't know what is actually happening with the online bank accounts.
Right, because we haven't seen consistent policies, no matter from the Bank of Thailand or the central government's policy too. So we have to wait for that. So now we're talking about mule account and right now move to the economy too, because Prime Minister Anutin yesterday met the FTA chairman Grengai Tinukun too. So on the baht's appreciation, Prime Minister Anutin said incoming Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister Thaipbs already met the FTI this afternoon for further discussions, because it's what Prime Minister Anutin say that co-payment project very important, 20 baht ticket for electric trains, lower energy prices are the first things that his government will tackle. But now actually FTA talk about strong Thai baht, because the stronger Thai baht it is, the more it affects Thailand's export industry. And of course, the tourism sector too. So when people come in, I mean foreign tourists, they come into Thailand, right now they might feel that, okay, for example, they use 100 USD to exchange to Thai baht. They see the Thai baht value is smaller, but if they go to Vietnam, they get more Vietnam currency to use in Vietnam. So they might choose Vietnam because right now Thai baht is quite expensive.
Yeah.
So the same theory for export industry too. So for those buyers outside of the country, they want to buy Thailand's product, they have to pay more. So that's why Anutin wants to tackle this issue very fast. But this is the 4-month policy, that urgent one that actually Ned already talked about last week. The economy, national security at the border, disaster, the flooding we always talk about in northern part of Thailand. We see a lot of flooding at this moment. Social issues too. So we understand that cabinet list. Yes, this week we're going to talk about it in this week with Thai PBS World about the cabinet list. Of course, today the Anutin already handed in the list to His Majesty the King now, but we have to wait until the list getting approved. But still, we have to see. Of course, we talk about business leaders right now. We have Kun Subachi as Commerce Minister and other business leader in the cabinet list too. So how can Thailand really revive the economy? FTA, of course, talking about tariff, SME, energy cost is pretty high. Border trade, how can we really revive the border trade with Cambodia too? And the baht appreciation, how can we bring that down?
It is going to be challenging for the Anutin government, especially they said that they will stay for only 4 months, and they also promised that they will actually dissolve the House of Representatives in 4 months. So it is very challenging for this government to consider the long-term measures to improve the Thai economy. And like you said, many of the business leaders are already expressing their concern as to how they will actually revive business and the economy, especially in just 4 months. So being in office for a very short period of time. So the only way that they could do is short-term measures, not long-term. And it's interesting how we have outsiders joining the cabinet, and most of them are experts in finance, business, and energy as well. So it would be interesting how they will lay out the short-term policies for the time being.
I think we will see very soon this week, as what you explained last week. We have 4 urgent policies right now, but another side is that if the business leaders, investors in Thailand, they really want to see this 4 policy, it's just short term. But for them, what are the imperative policy that they really want to see when they compare to Vietnam and Malaysia?
Yeah, but if you look at the 4 urgent policies listed by Anutin, whether it's the economy, the border security, natural disasters, and other social issues, including call center scammers, the economy, they put it on the top.
Yeah.
But some economists felt that there is no way that the economy will come out on top, because the biggest priority now is to maintain the stability of the government in 4 months and dissolve the parliament and redraft the constitution.
Right. So when it links together politics, the economy. Of course, we need stability, but how to revive and propel the economy again? If that co-payment project really works out, just really help the economy. How about the 20th baht flat fare? Of course, it's one of the stimulus for the economy, for people to get more money in their pocket. Does that really help? We don't know. We will see that.
Exactly. It will depend on the policy statement that will be delivered by Anutin once the cabinet list has received royal approval.
Right. And next one, we talk about flooding.
Yeah, because it's rainy season,
Yes.
and I'm pretty sure that many people have been experiencing heavy rain and traffic jams, especially in the afternoon. So
Did you get stuck in the rain?
I was gonna ask that.
Yes.
Yes, I did get stuck in the rain and also the traffic jams, and that is like the worst.
Same, because normally I drive around in Bangkok, but this time it's quite disastrous for me because sometimes I got stuck in the traffic jam for like more than 30 minutes because of rain.
And in worst cases, you might be stuck in the rain in the heavy traffic for 2 hours. And that would be a nightmare for anyone, especially in Bangkok. But many people might deal with possibly even more bad news because we might experience flooding because of the river overflows, and people living in low-lying areas and communities that are not protected by flood walls along the Chao Phraya River, Tha Chin, and Mae Klong rivers in 7 central provinces are being advised to prepare for river overflows this week due to rising water levels and high tides. The Office of National Water Resources reported that runoffs from northern provinces are flowing into the Chao Phraya River. This, combined with an additional inflow from the Sakay Krang River, have made it necessary for irrigation officials to increase the discharge of water from the swollen Chao Phraya River into the western and eastern branches. And the Secretary General of this office says that this will increase the water level in Tha Chin River, and compounded by high tides, the river will overflow and flood low-lying areas, especially in Suphanburi, Nakhon Pathom, and Samut Sakhon provinces. He noted that the Tha Chin River is vital for water management in the central region before the water flows into the Gulf of Thailand. And according to the Hydrographic Department, high tides are anticipated from tomorrow until next Monday, and these will cause overflows of the Chao Phraya River, Tha Chin, and Mae Klong rivers as well. So riverside communities, especially those unprotected by the flood walls, whether it's Bangkok, Nonthaburi, Pathum Thani, Samut Sakhon, Nakhon Pathom, and Samut Songkhram, are at risk of flooding. So if you live in these areas, be prepared.
Right, and the audience, I think they live in northern part of Thailand. They already experienced that flooding because it has remained there for more than weeks. So right now, of course, the raining season in Thailand, we have to really get prepared for that. No matter it's flooding, no matter what, if you drive on the road, please be careful because sometimes it just happens, and we have to get stuck in the traffic.
I don't think anyone likes to be stuck in traffic, but if it's inevitable, then do plan ahead. Whether it's using Grab or ride-hailing services, and plan in advance.
And we have to be very careful when we jump on motorbike taxi when it's raining because, of course, the floor, the road is always slippery when it rains.
All right, and that's all for this edition of Thai PBS World Tonight. Join us every Monday and Tuesday at 6 p.m. on Thai PBS World's Facebook and YouTube Live. You can also follow us on social media and our website, thaipbsworld.com, for all the latest stories and analyses about Thailand. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ